Hi and welcome back to my booktube channel. My name is Martha and I didn't forget about this channel. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a book haul today, and I'll try and keep it as short as possible. I might not have much to say about some of these books, but anyway. So I've acquired these from like January. Some of these are ARC, some of these I bought, some of these are gifts that I got from friends. So the first ones I've got is these from the Grishaverse. Basically everyone on BookTube, BookTok, BookTwitter, Bookstagram, like any platform has heard of this book or has read it or has raved. Like this book, like book Twitter is like obsessed with this book, along with the Song of Achilles and etc etc. But there's also this one, by the way, King of Scars by Lee Bardugo. Um, I finally caved in because of the Netflix show coming out, and I am someone who really likes watching stuff. I like watching Netflix. I like watching content, and watching stuff can be done in a very much faster way than reading. But when it comes to a property that you already know is out there, I would rather read the book first before it comes out. Maybe they should also serve as like a reading update, but currently reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and that's why it's not in this video, because I started reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and it's not that impressive, to be honest. It's in the tradition of um the 2010, but mid 2010 YA that was still a bit cliche, that was not like Other Girls, that was based on stereotypes of girls and trying to be feminist but failing badly. And I would say, if I was actually, when they came out, I think I was aware, and I had actually acquired digital copies of the book. But for some reason, actually, when they came out, when the Six of Crows book, when this one came out, I had it in my in my list. I put it there as far as I can remember. But I don't know, I tried reading it and it was like so dry to me. So I now that I know that this is apparently the next best thing after sliced bread, I got the Shadow and Bone trilogy because I didn't want to get lost when I read this. Because when I tried reading it, I don't know, but my brain, because it was based on Russian literature, and I don't know, my brain was just not processing it. I was just, everything was looking dry, and I was like, what is the fun in this? So if I had read this those years ago, then I wouldn't have liked it at all, and I would have been like, I wouldn't have followed what's going on. But like, I saw the trailer for Shadow and Bone trilogy, and it looks quite interesting. It actually reminds me of, what was it, the Cassandra Clare series? What was that? The What did Cassandra Clare do again? Gosh, I read those books. TMI, was it TMI? No. Guy, I even have her book. What is the City of Bones series and stuff like that. Shadow Hunters. Wow. Hey, those are my favorite books and I just forgot them. So I wanted to watch the show and I decided to read the series, but they are not that impressive. They're just full of tropes. I mean, and that's not a bad thing, but I'm past I need something more from books these days. Yeah, but I'm still gonna read these because I mean, I think there might still be value in them. I mean, the first three books are not that good, so I would suggest reading, and I know this is blasphemy, but just go and read the summaries of those things, because it's not worth reading it the first. I mean, this shouldn't be an let me not turn this into a review of them, because I will do a review by the end of the month when I wrap up those books, because they are practically the only books I've read this whole month. I'll literally just be doing a review of the whole Shadow and Bone series, but they are not anything they're not anything to write home about. Yeah. So the next book I've got is this Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. I got this as a gift. this is obviously, if you don't know, I don't know if I should explain to you what it's about, but like, seeing as all the stickers and the, you know, like this is those books that have more reviews than the, what is it called, the plot summary. Like I couldn't tell you what this book is about, but if you open it, it's hella reviews. Everybody and their mother has reviewed this book. Even my favorite, one of my favorite authors, Inoa Elams and Margaret Busby, the editor of what New Daughters of Africa. Basically every person you can think of, the Queenie author, you know, Watson Shire, like everybody who's anyone has reviewed this book. It's it's about black women and non-binary people and identity and sexuality and all that comes with that. I've seen someone describe it. Okay, I'm paraphrasing, but when they read it, they were like, "This is one of the better books of about identity that have been done well." And a lot of books that are written about identity, they just do it haphazardly and then they slap it on, you know, then they just market it like that, and then it's like, so I don't know, I tried it and I think it's a bit stylistically challenging for my taste. There are no full stops in this damn book. The whole thing just goes on and on and on, but I people have suggested that it does pick up a bit and you don't quite notice it anymore, but okay. I don't know if I can classify this as pop lit as well, because or is it pop lit or millennial lit? I don't know. A lot of books are coming out that are really what is it, like people are just making up their own rules, and I like that, but at the same time, like, fam, me, I just want to read the book and go, man. Like those arts for you, you can, those art things you're doing, they're interesting, but like, bro. Although I will say sometimes I do like when a book is not traditional. I like, those books where people like include emails, or, they draw pictures, or they write texts or letters instead. I like that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is an asterisk I should put on this book, but considering the author's politics when it comes to imperialism and royalty, I don't know, man, for somebody who wrote a book on identity, but that's another topic for another day. And let's see if that will actually be reflected here, especially when it comes to, mixed race identity and stuff. But I'll just judge it after I read it. But yeah. The next one I've got here is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. This is a YA book about a girl who is in her village. Like, if you bleed, there's a ceremony, and then so they cut you, yeah, and they cut you, and then if you bleed gold, then you're a demon basically. But then in this case, I think like these girls who bleed gold like have special abilities, and they are meant to go and train and like save the kingdom from certain threat. This has come in the recent trend of, I mean, fantasy YA literature, black fantasy YA literature, in which, the black girls are the savior of the story. They're the protagonists. Children of Blood and Bone can be included here, and Daughters of Henry can be included here. I'm hesitant to make a comparison because I think the comparison has only been made for marketing purposes, which is to Children of Blood and Bone. I will see what it's about. Like I will see how to compare it with other things I've read after I've read it. But yeah, this is like in that kind of tradition. Um, I think the author is Sierra Leonean and might have drawn experiences from the fight for equality, gender equality in Sierra Leone, and feminism, and various struggles that women have gone through there. This has might have triggering content, so just watch out for that. Although they are not specifically named, maybe go and check for reviews, because I heard it's quite graphic. So maybe you can check reviews to see how graphic it is. Yeah, the next one I've got here is In the Place of Flowers by Victoria Prince-Will. This is a Black British author. I received this arc by care of Cassava Republic Press. They are a black, I think they are an independent black publishing house. They sent this to me and I thank them for that. This is about and sorry, it's a fiction about Abyssinian slave from Iran. So a first person narrative from a slave who was in Iran, and they're in the Persian court, and they're trying them. They are a concubine, and them and another character who is a eunuch are trying to navigate their way through palace politics and royalty, and trying to survive through that kind of heightened tensions. And there's also Russian and what was it, British influence involved, and there's a lot of jealousy amongst the harem, and I think it's just like drama everywhere. But from what I see, this book is reminding me a lot about reminding me of the Queen of the Conquered, which was about same thing, and royalty, and trying to navigate, basically a minority person trying to navigate the racist royalty and upper class and stuff. And that particular book infuriated me, and I didn't post a video about how much I hated it, because one, maybe I was too busy, or two, I don't want to put that kind of negative content on my channel. But maybe that book deserved it, but whatever. But I truly hope this is not like that, because as much as maybe slave narratives need to be told, because this is a first person narrative. I Not first person narrative, first, yes, no, yes, it is a first person narrative, not in the sense of writing style, but um I am wary of slave stories, and for a reason. Like it's quite difficult to read, especially when you can see yourself, when you self insert yourself in the character, and you see yourself reflected back at you, not characteristics, but like somebody who looks like you, who probably thinks like you, and has been through the same experience or has the same history. It would be quite difficult to read. So that's just something to warn you about. But it looks quite beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful, and I really hope I like it. I'll come back with an update. The last one I've got is The First Woman by Jennifer Makumbi. This one was kindly gifted to me. And it's a coming of age story about a girl who has grown up in a village surrounded by women she admires, her grandmother, her auntie, and all these kinds of people, but has never known her mother. So yeah, it's kind of how she grows up in Uganda, and in the background Idi Amin's rule is going on. And the person who gave me this was very enthusiastic about it, and they insisted I have to read it, and I'm very grateful, because this book is not cheap, like, and it's hardcover. Like, I was just looking at it and thinking, that's for them one day. So like one day I will get my hands on that, but not today. But I was luckily given a gift of this book. Um, this is also the writer of Kintu, if you don't know. And I think I would compare this book to A Dragonfly Sea by Yvonne Owor. It's that one is also a coming of age story about, yeah, someone who discovers, I mean, a girl who discovers their parentage and things like that. I haven't read that one either, but I think they would compare quite nicely. They're also both East African writers, so yeah, I really hope I like it. This one has a different name on Goodreads. I don't remember what it is, but I remember being so frustrated that I couldn't find it there. So just watch out for that. I'll put it here probably, so you can see the name of the alternate name in case you don't find this on Goodreads, if you want to go and add it to your list. So that ends my book haul for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got books. I mean, you got more books to add to your cart. I know I'm encouraging consumerism, but these books must be read, or just collect the books if that's your hobby. But yeah, I'll end it right there. So please like, share, and subscribe, and watch more of my videos. And I hope to be back soon with another video, probably my wrap up. And I'll see you next time. Bye.